What's it called, Area 51? Are there any basketballs here?
What the?
Before we begin season 2, I want to say something.
What's the matter with
you? Anyway, I want to give you guys an explanation for why last season stopped abruptly, okay? And I know I don't have to do this, but it's out of the goodness of my heart. Welcome back to Might Be Manic. Bestie, come here, girl. I got a lot to talk to you about. I think people assume when you go quiet, something went wrong. Like you fell off, like you couldn't keep up. Like if you stop showing up, it automatically means you failed. But nothing went wrong. That's the part nobody really considers. See, sometimes you don't disappear. You just decide not everybody deserves access to you anymore. Because sharing your thoughts sounds beautiful in theory, but to be open, to be honest, to be vulnerable, nobody talks about what happens when the wrong people are listening. People who don't like you. People who don't respect you. People who don't even move right in real life. Sitting there taking notes on your mindset, quoting you, watching you, studying you, and at some point you have to ask yourself, is this still even mine? Or am I feeding people who shouldn't even be at the table? So no, I didn't disappear, bestie. I paused. But I didn't pause because I was burnt out. I didn't pause because I was bored. I didn't pause because I didn't care anymore. I paused because I had to protect myself and the treasure that is my mindset. And not everybody deserves to know that. Not everybody deserves the pointers and tips you give out. Not everybody deserves your perspective, and your perspective should be protected. And I think that's something people don't say out loud enough. So let me tell you what actually happened. You know, not the polished version, the real Might Be Manic version, because it's me and it's you. So my son's dad, and this isn't even about me being messy, this is just the reality of what happened. He's one of those people who says he's moved on, but he hasn't, and obviously can't. Like he's anchored to something that no longer exists and never will. Almost like it never did, like a part of the multiverse that never happened, and it's not something that he's fully letting go of, but he acts like he does, and he tries to do things to me that are negative to perpetuate that he is over it. He tries to spread negativity about me so other people will say bad things. And it's almost like he's dismayed by the fact that even though he says these things out loud, he's not buying them and it's not helping him get over it. So then he just looks crazy for dwelling on someone that you've said nothing but negative things about. And you can tell when someone hasn't moved on because every time things are calm, they create chaos. Every time things are okay, they find a way to make it not okay. And this time, he had brought other individuals into the conversation. And, you know, the person he's with and her childish sisters, who are literally children, people who don't even know me like that from a can of paint, suddenly had all these personal things to say about me. That was information that were privy only to him. That should have, and would have never, shouldn't have ever been shared. So it didn't stay offline, and that's where it changed. They were in my comments, on my books, on my Amazon page, on my podcasts, on my Facebook, on my phone, on my text, on my voicemail, leaving negative things, you know? Calling, texting, commenting, reviewing over and over, quoting my Might Be Manic podcast constantly. And you know how much I care about this, you guys, because I truly do feel like connected to the people who do listen. And I don't want to have any connection with these people. And they became my most invested listeners, it feels like, because they were quoting things. And then, you know, my kids' dads were finding the keywords and they were like, I'm going to win that money. And I'm like, who the hell are you? You owe me like back child support for decades. I'm not paying you. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the harassment that was getting me. It was the fact that they were just listening really intently, quoting the podcast, repeating things I said. And that's when it clicked for me. This isn't just noise anymore. This is access that I do not allow. Access denied. And I had to sit with that because I love the things that I create. You know, I love my besties. I love Might Be Manic and all of my art. And I started to feel like I was pouring into people who did not deserve to be watered. And that did not sit right with me because I'm very intentional about how I think, my mindset, and it's not random. It's something I've built and something I've protected. And when you see someone who's with someone that you were with, who, you know, they put you up on this pedestal, you do not want to give that person pointers about how you think because they're already obsessed with you. You don't want to give them anything because who wants to be able to understand the mindset of the girl that your man is in love with? It's not something you're going to be able to achieve, and I do not grant you that access. I'm not going to give my profile to a jump off. This is not Get Out, okay? So it started to feel like people who are toxic and messy and don't respect me are benefiting from me. And I had to ask myself, why am I giving this away for free? And I'm not one who usually explains myself. But this was being given out to everybody, and it was also being given out to the ops. And, so I stopped.
You're a pussy.
Abruptly. Because I needed to preserve my energy, because there are energy vampires out there, and there are people who want to destiny swap with you. There are people who want to take what's yours, and there are people who want to emulate you, and it's always certain people in your life. Like, you can just always tell. And I'm not going to allow my energy to be taken over by anybody. This is mine. I'm a unique individual, and I share it with who I want to share it with. So who knows if they're here listening or they're not listening.
Nigga, what?
But at the time, I couldn't keep going. I didn't want to keep giving out access. And then with the giveaway, I didn't finish it. I know people noticed that as well. I'm going to be honest about that. I didn't feel like it would be authentic at that point, because I knew people who didn't like me were listening simply because they wanted to get something out of me, as if they haven't taken enough against my will. That was meant for supporters and people who respect me, and that's not who was trying hardest to, advance themselves off of it. And I'm not going to play that game. I don't have to. Because at the end of the day, this is my zone. This is my choice. And it may not have felt fair, but this is my explanation, and this is me being as real and authentic as I can. This was something for us, not for them. And I'm not rewarding, any individuals who don't even move right in real life. So yeah, I stopped abruptly, and I didn't explain it at the time because I didn't want to say that I left because of anyone else, because that was the only way I could think to explain it at the time. And that's not who I am. But at the time, this did affect me negatively. And I'm not going to lie about that. Not what they were doing. The fact that this person, just because I no longer want to be in a certain type of relationship with you, feels the need to continuously throw me under the bus because you can't manage your feelings like a man. And it made me step back. But here's what I understand now. You can't control who watches, who listens, or who's paying attention. You can't let that run you off your own space. And that's the shift for me, because I thought protecting myself meant silence. But really, it just means being more intentional. And being intentional about how I show up and what I give. And, also about who I'm actually speaking to. Because the truth is, bestie, the people who are supposed to get it, they get it. And the people who don't never will. I don't believe that people as ignorant as the ones who doxed me are able to even comprehend or wrap their mind around the concepts that we're explaining. So it's kind of like, do your best, take your notes, but you're not going to be able to walk this walk. And that's okay, because this was never for everybody. This is for those who know the spiral, like I know the spiral. And I'm not going to be ran off something I love. I've missed this for real. And this is a space that feels natural to me. This is something I enjoy, and I'm not going to give that up because other people don't know how to act. So no, it didn't disappear. I didn't ditch you. I just stopped giving access to people who don't deserve me, because I do feel like what I'm trying to do is be helpful, and I don't want to help people I don't like. I'm not that big. I'm not that, evolved to really be that type of person. I'm not that forgiving. I'm not Christ, okay? I'm just me. And I'm being real about that. So I'm back now. I'm back different, more aware and intentional, and a lot more protective of what's mine. It's not my job to open the doorway for people to understand that I dislike, and I'll never be that. I'll never be it. I won't. Because access to me is a privilege. It's not a public utility, and if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't, and you were never supposed to. But that being said, welcome back to season 2 of Might Be Manic. This is the retrial. So we're going to go ahead and get this back going. We're going to do a rematch. We have a lot of amazing topics to go through this season, and I'm going to pre-record them so I'm not as stressed out each week. Because honestly, this has been a year that's literally dragged me by my hair. I've been through a lot, and I'm sure everyone else has too. I want to do a lot more, guest spots. I want a lot more call-ins. I want a lot more participation from you guys, because I truly want to know what you guys have been going through.
Yay!
this is a big shift for everyone. There's a lot of exciting things going on. A lot of disappointing things have happened, and I really want us to get in on a deeper level. So welcome back to Might Be Manic, and I'll see you this season for Spiral number 2. If you stuck around, you're the smart one. Period, poo. Okay, so this season on Might Be Manic, we're going to be talking about institutional lies and really bad guys. So that means we're going to draw a line in the sand. And if you haven't followed our page on Facebook, go to facebook.com/mightbemanic. You can go ahead and follow us there, and I'll be posing questions when I'm in the middle of recording these episodes. It may be the next one or a few weeks out. This season, I'm a little more organized, so it'll probably be a few weeks out. But I'll ask a question, and if you have an answer to that question, I want you to call 971-417-4224. Again, 971-417-4224. That'll be the Spiral line, and I want you to leave a voicemail with your response to that question. You might be selected to be featured in an episode. Isn't that great? Yeah, I know. It's so good. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and do that. And also, if you want to take advantage of a sponsor spot, email mightbemanicthepodcast@gmail.com. That's a mouthful, but you got it, bestie. Okay, go ahead and have a good week, whether you're rearranging your TV stand, building a desk from IKEA, or folding laundry that your cat sprayed on since it's mating season. Whatever you're up to, I hope you spiral cute, and I'll see you next week, bestie.